So they'll be calling you a radical. So the nuclear pork, is it flying? Pigs flying now? Oh yeah, all over the place. Has been for a long time. So the only country in the world that's still in psycho, fairy tale, Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, freaking Deadlyville on nuclear energy is the United States of usury. The rest of the world's like, fuck, just as Kevin Blanch has said from day one, you don't have to be a nuclear physicist. You don't have to be a quantum physicist. You don't even have to be a plasma physicist, John Holter, inside the Situation Room. You don't even have to be you just need to know one word, Fukushima. That's all. The end. Which that's, if you read international media, which of course it gets blocked in here, kettle me, I'll kettle you. That's Germany at the COP. And thank you to the protesters. And Greta, little sister, hits the stage. She can't help it. She's coming of age. Little junior, born again. It'll be 10 years coming down the stretch. Born again. 619. 801. Sending up a football. Sweet are the uses of adversity. That be Shakespeare, boys. That be Seabiscuit. Down the stretch they come at Delmar, the Fast Breeders' Cup. So Jennifer Gramholm, the new Department of Energy, which needs to be dissolved. Department of Energy was developed and set up by Jeff Bezos' grandfather for nothing but nuclear energy imperialism propagandists to bomb Japan, to nuke your own man in the Nevada test site, to get imperialistic control of the world. Epstein freaking ranch at Los Alamos. What? So Greta is coming of age. She's learning. We all live in a green washing machine. A green washing machine. A green washing machine. This is the greatest decade of greenwashing in world history. I mean, it's disturbing. It's disgusting. Fukushima, 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 Fukushima. Pop, pop, pop. Where does it stop? So even in the article that Yahoo, remember when Yahoo was the king before Joseph Google fucking took over the field? I remember when it was Raging Bull before that. And what was the one that Anderson, E-E-N had that they destroyed, took up, but then he got on the winning team. You want silver or lead? Mark Twain on Balco. Mark Twain was an investigative journalist in the Comstock scam, and he invented that term. He says, I was investigating judge going after the corruption on the Comstock, the panning for gold, the new 49ers in District 49, and it's Sinano-free. How nice is they invented Darrell I? Oh, he got booted, went inland, ducking Hunter's rabbit. What's that? Pardon me, I spilled the nuclear waste tea. Pardon me. Cartwright, make it so inside the Situation Room. The guy that leaked out the Sputnik virus to the New York. What? Bummer Dummers liaison? Pardon me, I spilled the nuclear waste tea in the Ukraine. Manafort, Flynn, Bo Biden's freaking bad son. He's an artist. If he's an artist, then what the fuck is Kevin Blanch? I mean, it's amazing. The new Michelangelo, well, it's even worse than that. Got no platform. Jennifer Gramholm did an interview yesterday and says, oh no, the United States, I'm sure we're going to build lots of nuclear. We're fully, heavily invested in this small new nuclear technology. The SMR fairy tale, they don't exist. And every time they've been tried in the history of the world, and they've been working on this for 60, they don't exist. Salt reactors, therm reactors, heavy metal. Oh, God. Talk about a motley crew. They wish. Oh, Santa, don't you cry for me. You came to Utah with a load from Santa Nofari. What's that? Rocketdyne on Balco on chemo. So, these SMRs, Idaho National Lab, fuel rods impelled into people's bodies, pinned to the ceiling. Boom. Oh, that was in the late 50s, early 60s. Okay. All right. Oh, Santa Susana, what? Right there in L.A., where the propagandists are, they're willing to take their own lives. People just dropping like flies for time and all eternity. Just covered up. Santa Susana. Whoa. Thousands of times worse than 3 Mile Island, which in New York, Status King Cuomo bells out 9 Mile freaking Island, which is 3 times more dangerous than 3 Mile Island. 3 Mile Island, the cover up, Lake Barrett to Leslie Stahl in 60 minutes. He's covering up Fukushima. Well, which took him 3,112 days. Tell you what Kevin Blanch told you in 1 hour. The most important videos in the history of mankind. Oh, we sold the digital freaking video of Tom Brady for a gazillion. All your money can another minute buy. The great equalizer. Fukushima. So it's a fairy tale. Price Anderson. The Immunity Act that was developed by Bezos' freaking grandfather and crew, the nuclear propagandist. So you can't sue anything to do with nuclear energy. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The nuclear reactor, you have to have the nuclear energy reactor to create the nuclear bomb. Sugars wars, molasses wars, textile wars, plutonium wars. That's what they're there for. There's a lot of money in freaking nuclear. There's a lot of money in coal. Say it ain't so, Joe, in his Maserati. Don't you love that dude? Sleeping on the Potomac. These politicians think they're elitist now. They're not. They don't run for office anymore as public servants. They run as to get rich. I mean, big money in running for politics now. You think it's coincidence? 100 for 100 senators are multimillionaires? Think about that. It's disturbing. Porky pigs flying out the windows, out the doors. So they can get the money up front. And the thing is that lawsuits, Kevin Blanch, I mean, what they did to me, so illegal, but I got no lawyer. I got no I got nothing. Because people can't. This is like you're panning for gold. You shake it, millions of rocks. Millions and then finally a gem drops out. You know, the president of the university told me yesterday, God, can you imagine if there was 100 of you, Kevin? I says, I can imagine if there was 10. But people can't hang. I mean, weak. So that's what I've been up to for years. I thought, well, we can shake out a little army, which we have. The Blanch 301. They're out there doing the dirty work in the trenches, which you'll never see them. So she says, the Immunity Act, so if accident, anything, the fraud, stealing, Stephen Bechtel said it best. Stephen Bechtel said, well, you're paid to put triple liners around the Hanford tanks, and you didn't do it. You just ripped off the money in front of Congress, and he threw it right back on Congress. That's on you, not me. You passed Price Anderson. You're the Immunity Act. Doesn't matter what we did. By law. What did you do with money? We hired PR firms to attack anti-nuclear energy activists. The NEI. So NE News, which we work together, comes out of EEN, the NEI's propagandist mouthpiece, paid to by the United States taxpayer to annihilate you, to put out propaganda, pro-nuclear lies. That's who the Department of Energy is. So she says, oh, we're heavily invested in these Santa Claus, new scale from hell. Why would Utah be funding them? You know, Bill Gates, who stole the operating system in Utah. Governor Cox gets in bed with him, literally in Wyoming, to nuke Wyoming. You know, we already nuked Idaho. Utah's funding it. What? So the SMR, oh, that's a long time ago they blew up. They've got better. Oh, on the White Sea, 88 as I named it, 19. If I didn't put that into the library, I wouldn't even know. It was a nuclear energy freaking reactor that, you know, they're trying, of course, the rocket, the military weaponry, the nuclear energy, the SMR, that's what it's all about. Blew up, killed the lead nuclear physicist. Putin even gave a statement about it. Because we know there's tracer elements that only come from a nuclear energy reactor. It's a fraud. They don't work. They never did. Up in Idaho, now they're 24, 12, 6, be ready by 2021, 2025, 2030. They ripped off the money. $400 million have already come out of Utah's ratepayers out of your light bill, amps. You had one person fighting him in the section. Caught him, fraud. In Ohio, they go in and bust the bribees. You know, one of the legislators was suicidal or committed suicide in Florida. They are going to put 4 of the legislators are going to go to prison. One in South Carolina, the Tower of Babel, in prison. Yet the bribe is nothing. Corporations are people, Mitt Romney. They hide behind the corporate veil. What's their names? Rahm Emanuel. Why is he the ambassador to Japan? So horsing down the stretch at Delmar syndrome. What's Delmar syndrome? Fukushima. The Japanese horse wins at the Fast Breeders' Cup at Delmar. Pays $105 to win? What? Jetstream moves left to right. Breaking news. Fish swim. The Fast Breeders' Cup. Sponsored by Utah. Bill Gates, who stole the operating system in Utah, is now a god in Utah. What? Jeff Bezos. Bill Gates on their yacht at the COP. Little sister hits the stage. She can't help it. She's coming of age. You haven't played your fiddle with your fishing pole in a long time. Not having. Alfred Hitchcock on chemo. Jennifer Gramholm. We're heavily invested. We're all in. We're going to build nuclear reactors. Let's get real. So 2 reactors in 44 years. One took 44 years, Watts Bar. And the guy that went to prison for the NRC, the nuclear rally cheerleaders, are supposed to protect us and supposed to look up after us. I'll take Allison McFarland over the last couple we've had. I like Gregory Jacko, who's always making statements, who was in the Situation Room. Gregory, I know what you said and I know what you did in there. You covered up Fukushima. It's the greatest crime in human history. So if I was you, I would. So, and it's unbelievable. So we're building one right now in Georgia. The only one that's being built started out, what, a couple million? It's at $29 billion. What? No, yeah. Billion. Sorry, I'm starting to act like the American public don't know million from billion. Billion. Same Savannah River in Georgia. It's the Mock's fairy tale, the Tower to Babel, does not work. It's a fairy tale. It's a sham. But they know this. They get the money up front. And you can't do a damn thing about it because the Immunity Act called Price Act when you were busy on Saddam Hussein as weapon minister went up to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban, attacking Iraq and spraying depleted uranium from a nuclear reactor all over Fallujah, all over Iraq, killing millions and millions for time and altitude, including the President of the United States' good son. Kamala Harris at Livermore, California, where they test these things. The epidemiologist, dead young of cancer. Mike Lee's dad. Well, you know, my dad's a down. You're not, Mike. You're sneaking in nuclear waste to the energy solution dump site. I mean, they don't care. The nuclear energy emperor has no underwear in Times Square. Has no clothes. What the fuck? The whole world just says Fukushima. Every interview, Germany comes out and says, no, Fukushima. Everybody, Fukushima. Not here in freaking usury America. See no nuclear energy. Here no nuclear. You know, hypnotize Operation Foxconn News, run right out of the House of Winter. How do they do it? 1 by Jetstream, 2 by cable TV. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to me. And the American public goes, well, we're paying the price the harsh. Jetstream moves like, it's safer to live in Tokyo than it is in New York City, in Los Angeles, by far. Most contaminated place probably in the world now, Los Angeles. You know, get your Hillary Clinton. I got to go talk to Henry before I go to Fukushima, you know. You ought to read. I read Humma's book. I cruised it. Good Lord. Can you imagine if Hillary was so out of it and so gone, you'd spend most of her time changing her diapers. For real. That's Humma's words, not mine. emails. You know, she doesn't talk about them. Don't go outside. Take a shower. The plume's coming over. It's right, not worth it. They didn't tell us that. Kevin Blanch leaked that into the internet. I asked David Vitter to his face. He didn't even know what Fukushima was. He was head of the committee. Barbara Boxer, forced out. Hearings. Everybody was involved in the Fukushima dynamic. Aaron Swartz, MIT. Edward Snowjob, the cover-up. Laura gets a freaking Oscar. MIT Media Endowment, freaking billionairist. Oh my God, it's imperialism. It's nuclear. In the United States of usury. Wake up. Wake up. Oh, we're going to build reactors. We built 2 in 44 years, and one of them, 44 years. The other one is half done, and they just keep looting, but they get away. And here's the flaw on NuScale. This is the FBI, and I'm sending this directly to the FBI. I mean, they hired trolls to attack Kevin Blanch when he's in critical condition. You know, they go after me. Who's the biggest shareholder in Google? I wonder why they go after nuclear energy. I mean, look up who the shareholders of Google. Look up who the shareholders of Diablo Canyon, all these reactors. They're not public utilities. Hello. They're corporations like Bill Gates owns. He's big shareholders in them. So is Jeff Bezos, you know. I mean, come on. Amazon, Google, corporations are people, Mitt Romney. You know, rhinos versus dino. Oh, God. This bill's pathetic because it has pork all over in it. And don't tax the billionaires, whatever you do. The dumb sheep are so dumb. The tax rate on 1999, let's party. New descending down staircase, dead purple moon found in a fucking elevator. Prince. The tax, let's party like it's 1999. The tax rate on billionaires was 38%. The military budget has 10 times. All based on lies. Bush didn't win in 2000. Freaking Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction, one of the greatest lies in human history. It's not a coincidence that Rumsfeld and Colin Powell both died of multiple myeloma. He didn't die of COVID. He died of the average life expectancy of mild myeloma, which I have in my body. I did. You know, first person to make it 10 years without a transplant. Drum roll, please. God. When you play the drums, and drum roll, please. Coming down the stretch she comes. Kevin Blanch. I only got 4 more days. I'll be the first person they know of documented. There's been others, but this is documented. With this heavy disease in my body, to survive it willing without a transplant. Jennifer Gramholm, the Ballad of Joe. Joe, West Virginia Joe, say it ain't so, Joe, in his Maserati. The Ballad of Jennifer Gramholm and Rick Perry. Talk about the anti-porn. Whoa. Rick Perry says we're going to make it sexy again. Start testing at Idaho National Lab. They've consented, which they've done in Idaho. Baked potatoes, nuke 'em. Nuke baked potatoes for all in Idaho. Are they really testing them up there? I don't know, but I sure saw a plume coming up when I was up there. You know, I got video of it, but it's all blocked. What about the Mox Fuel plant? They brought it back. Moxie Fuel's against the law here. So what did they do? They were doing it in Unit 3 at Fukushima. You want to talk the cores? Oh, they're bad. And volcanoes, blooming, what do you think's that all about? You know, into the mantle, the trench on the Kamicha Peninsula in Russia. What do you think that's all about? Not a word. Greenpeace, Sierra Club, freaking, yay, Greta says it's a greenwashing. No shit. Little sister hits the stage. She can't help it. She's coming of age. Little Junior, he's all in a rage. We all live in a greenwashing machine. The United States of usury. See no nuclear evil, hear no nuclear evil, speak no nuclear evil. Go team, red pill, blue pill. Billionaire imperialism. What's the definition of imperialism? Billionaires who the sheeple are say don't raise the taxes on them. We go from the tax rate of 1980 on them was 96%. We're clear down to 38% in 1999. It's 3%. Drum roll, please. Where's the nuclear accident going to happen? Idaho National Lab, most likely, if they really are testing. New scale from hell. I proved it was fraud because the original funding, when Obama came here to Utah, I'm the only one in the world, I'm like, this isn't about, this is the nuclear. And he meets with the Mormon church secretly to go all in on this. I'm like, Kenwood Financial is a fraud. You have to get the original funding privately, you know, through investors, whatever. Then the government starts the granting. Boom, boom, boom. The original funding, so this is the fraud in the lawsuit against NUSCO. The original funding Kevin Blanchett exposed was Kenwood Financial, which didn't exist. It was a Ponzi scheme, just like Blue Class on the Green. Why not put up a statue of Ted Bundy on I-15? That was my chant when I was full of cancer and the fighting the mem, and I put the end to that with my tree and my central line hanging out of my jugular. And in the Capitol, walked across Memory Grove from my home, LDS East 8 Bone Marrow Transplant Center. Lead dog. Hedge fund? Well, I'm an old freaking hedge fund guy. I said, there ain't no lead dog. Fraud, Ponzi scheme. The original money for NUSCO was fraud. I asked